At the Kitchen Table with Soraida and Friends is proudly sponsored by Classic Homes. We make it better than new with the classic touch.
You got too many cooks living in the kitchen. You don't know what you've been missing.
Welcome to At the Kitchen Table with Soraida and Friends. Thank you for tuning in. I'm super excited about this episode, and I'm always excited about every episode because I think it's a real opportunity for the people in our community to get to know the amazing individuals that live here. So I will start with you, Josh. Who are you?
Who am I? After almost 50 years, I'm still trying to figure that out, right? My name is Josh Navarrete. I am the owner of NK Forge and Navarrete Knives, but I'm also the executive director for IACT, which stands for Industrial Artistic and Creative Therapy, where we provide free classes to vets and former first responders with PTSD, blacksmithing classes.
Nice. And in your personal life?
I'm a dad. My daughter is Natalia, and I am married to a beautiful, smart woman. I always say that I sort of married way above my pay rate. So ugly guys like us, we still have a chance, right?
Leveled up.
I'm telling you, and a tip is be funny. So you can be as ugly as this and you can still, get lucky as long as you're funny.
I agree with that. People need to smile and laugh.
I know. I mean, at the end of the day, when the lights go off, looks don't matter. Really? It's how can you keep your partner entertained? That's the trick right there. But yeah, have a great family. I'm very blessed. Have a great family. So.
Well, thank you for being here. And for you, Fernando.
Yeah, my name is Fernando Lopez. I am the owner of Arrows Home Air, a local heating and cooling company. And on the personal, same. I'm a husband. I'm a dad. Love it. I think being a dad is the greatest thing in the world. The hardest job and the most rewarding job, for sure. We're just...
And congrats, new baby.
Yes. 4 months.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so 9-year-old, 5-year-old, and 4-month-old.
Oh, good Lord. I only have one and you have 3. Jesus Christ.
Well, that's where the amazing wife
Jesus had everything to do with it.
Yeah, no, my wife is a rock star. She takes care of the household for us and holds it down. And yeah, for sure.
So your business, Arrows Home Air.
Yes.
Both heating and cooling.
Yes. Yep. Everything from a new installation to replacements to just maintenance.
And residential and commercial?
Residential right now.
Okay.
Yep. So just residential.
Good to know. So anybody listening, this is that time of the year.
Preventative maintenance.
Prevention. That's something that we need to focus on in prevention.
Yeah. This nice weather is going to make people forget that they have an HVAC system for a month or two. And then it'll get really cold and everyone's going to say, oh man, I should have called somebody.
Yeah. I mean, it's equivalent to getting your oil changed in your car, right?
100%.
You take care of your car.
Yeah. Actually, funny you say that. I was just having a conversation about that because people say, well, it's a new system. It's a new system. But yeah, you buy a brand new car and you do oil changes, right? And then if something happens to your new system and you don't have maintenance, warranties can say, hey, no, thank you. So just like a car.
Yeah.
So
that's what happened to my car because my AC broke on my car at the beginning of summer.
That's a
because
bummer.
I did not do maintenance.
Right? You
heard it first. You heard it here first.
Yep, you heard it here first. You change the oil of your car, preventative maintenance. Get that checked out once a year. The things you learn here. Like, we're not even 5 minutes into it.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a gem of knowledge.
The more you learn, the more you know.
The more you learn. So when I was thinking about you two, because, I don't prepare a script, I thought I really got to know you two and talk to you a lot more at Latino Business Alliance. So anybody listening or watching, what has your experience been with that organization?
So what is interesting is on my side, I actually haven't been there for some time. I've been very busy, very, very busy. But in my experience, blacksmithing is not something that is very often found among the Latino community. When I tell them, hey, you know what, I'm a blacksmith or herrero, which that's what it's called in Spanish, they're like, I think they have the idea, but they just give me that, deer, headlights, deer, little kind of thing. And so I went ahead and go ahead and explain it. But so it's not really something that, it's within the radar, but I've been sort of kind of pushing it a little bit, just to educate people about what it is and the benefits. Because it's not just, to me, it's not just, hobby, it's therapy. That's the reason why I have IACT. But also, we call it recreational therapy. But also recreational therapy is prevention. It's a preventive hobby because it keeps your mind occupied, So, and what happens when you're not utilizing your mind? You start thinking about things, So yeah, I mean, within the Latino community and everything, it's one of those things that is super new. Although the show that I went to, Forge and Fire, they have a version that it was done in Latin America.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah, and so they even have one of the judges go down there and be a part of the judges, the panel, stuff like that. So a lot of Latinos are familiar with the show itself because they have a version of it. So
anyone that's listening, can you say something? Because people might be like, what is he talking about? Forged in Fire.
Yeah, so Forge and Fire is a show on the History Channel. It's a competition style show. And I won my episode. First, a lot of people, I tell them, you've seen that show Chopped in the, I guess, cooking channel or food channel. Food Network, where they have 4 chefs. They compete against each other, and at the end, one of them wins. Picture that, but forging knives. So I won my episode, and a year later, they invited me back for the Forge and Fire, be the judges. Anyway, so that kind of gave me the platform to open IACT because the money that I got from winning, I went ahead and bought equipment to open IACT because that has always been sort of my
what a great investment.
Yeah, it's and what is interesting is that we started talking about prevention. One of the things that we focus a lot on IACT now, I guess jumping into that now, is that we are preventive service. It's prevention because we're going to be starting the mentorship program. So we're going to start bringing kids to be mentored by vets. It's a whole concept that is really, really cool. We partnered up with CTEC.
Love it.
So CTEC is going to start sending kids in September. At the beginning of the year, I went and did whole day demos. I did 4 demos in front of kids, 4 groups of 25 kids. So the whole day was 100 kids watching what I was doing.
That's great. Good for you.
80%, they said, I want to go to the shop. I want to learn that. It's transferable skills.
That's fantastic. I love CTEC. I'm on their Hospitality Industry Alliance Council, so I'll go into the culinary class and
it's amazing.
Talk and teach.
I mean, it's the answer to the biggest mistake we ever did, which was taking shop from high schools.
Yes, it's so great to see it now. Seeing their automotive programs and
absolutely, because if you think about it, what currently our kids are looking for is identity. All right, you give them an identity by teaching them skills. Once they learn identity or they find their identity, whatever it is, they find their purpose. After they find their purpose, they find their self-worth because they know that they're needed in this world. They're worth something, and they continue moving forward. And it's not different than vets. Our vets, when they come back,
they're like, many of them, what am I supposed to do?
They lose their identity. They lose it, and they try to go back to what they used to do before, going to service. They find themselves going like, I don't fit. And they don't even feel related to their friends before enlisting. Even their family members, they don't even feel related to them anymore. So what happens? They just isolate and they start thinking on things. And unfortunately, they find their identity or escaping, many of the alcohol, drugs, or, very bad stuff.
Right.
Our kids, they find their identity many times when they don't have the positive, role models. They find their identity on gangs or other stuff. So that's why the rec is super important. Acres of Hope, is very important. Becca makes buttons. It's very important because, all of those entities are a preventive service. And that's what we need to start looking into things. We're really good at putting Band-Aids on things, okay? We suck at preventive services, including healthcare, but that's a different story.
Jesus Christ. How long do we have?
I know, because I do medical interpretation as well. For example, I go to the hospital and help families to interpret those. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a different story. But it's the same concept. It's
I love that. Yeah. It's preventative. I mean, we kind of started from the beginning. Preventative, right? If we're preventative and we recognize ahead of time before it's there's a small leak, and then all of a sudden. Pipes are busting everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to work for HIV Alliance. I've done so many things. So last year I worked with HIV Alliance only 1 day a week because I wanted to learn how to serve our homeless community. And we did our HIV Alliance. Our job was to stop the spread of HIV. So we did needle exchange in downtown. Downtown needle exchange. Let me tell you, we used to, each week, we used to fill 3 or 4 5-gallon buckets of needles, used needles. Okay, now I have my own opinions about the needle exchange program, but that's a different story again. That's a different conversation.
That's a different podcast,
that's a different podcast. I'm sorry. But I will sit down.
We're talking preventative maintenance today.
I know, it's just so many different things. I will sit down with some of the members of the community, homeless community, and ask them, what happened? Well, 2 things came up. One, my dad was not in the picture, and I did not learn how to use my hands. And many of them, the big majority of them, they became homeless before the age of 18. So what do? You provide a father figure and you provide skills. How do you do it? Well, through several ways. Us in IACT, we're going to start the mentorship program. It's going to be through having our vets mentor kids and also providing those transferable skills.
So, yeah, I love everything you just said. I'm like, okay, I'm just sponging it up. So going along with that nonprofits, Fernando, you're super involved in the Kaiser Community Foundation,
yes.
Right? So anybody that's listening, how can they help, and what is something you can tell listeners about that?
So thank you. I'll plug right away the most important need we have right now is, so first, the Kaiser Community Foundation, what we do is one of our biggest branches, we have three legs, we call it, but our biggest one is called the closets. And in the closets, we provide clothing and snacks and food to kiddos that need it. And all in the Kaiser community, so we have the 10 schools, they're all signed up. This closet is a designated room for the schools that have the space. If not, teachers or counselors are having a little corner full of them. I love it because I was a kid that needed the help, so now being on the side of being able to help, it's one of those things where when I needed it, somebody helped. So now that I can, I need to return that back, right? So I love it. But the thing I love the most is only the student and the counselor knows about it, right? So if a kiddo needs something, they'll go to the counselor, and the counselor very discreetly will take them and provide whatever they need.
So it's not something where you're like, I think that when I was growing up, you knew who had like the free lunches.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Exactly, 100%. 100%, that's what it is. And, funding for that, things are getting more expensive. The need is getting higher. So we are actively raising money to provide these items for these kids. The counselors will message us. We have, like on my phone, I have 10 WhatsApps with all the schools, and they'll just message us, hey, we're running low on this. Is there any way you can do this? And they do that. So it's a great resource for all the CSOCs, they call them. So the outreach coordinators for every school.
How would someone donate or get involved?
So the easiest way, and this sounds, so we're all volunteers, right? We all have jobs, we all have stuff. So this is the easiest way for us is if you go to our page, whether it's Facebook, we're working on an Instagram, or our website, Kaiser Foundation, kaisercommunityfoundation.org, and just donate straight there. We have a gift box there, or you can reach out to any of the board members. Really, because what has been working for us is those online orders, online, been able to just provide the kids right away. So a teacher or a counselor will message us today. and tomorrow they get deliveries, right? So because it's just that fast, instead of trying to find a volunteer or somebody to go shop.
So you can just go. Do you have like an Amazon list on there?
You know, we don't, just because. So what we try to do is just for effectiveness, you know, try to kind of get. The teacher will tell us, like some schools, depending on the grades, or just some schools they'll tell us, hey, we use a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that, or these snacks really don't get eaten, or these do, or so we can kind of pick and choose where it is. But that is a great idea. I think there's a lot of turnover on the outreach, you know, in the school system. So it's very hard. Like right now we have actually a lunch for the outreach coordinators on Thursday. There's some outreach coordinators that we don't even know who they are for this year, right? So it makes it really difficult because the school starts and they might call us that day, the first day, hey, we heard that you guys can provide some snacks. So, you know, we need to be able to do it. So having the funds there to just immediately do it help us a ton.
I've just seen that. I mean, I don't know if it works or it doesn't, but sometimes we'll have like Amazon wish lists. And so then maybe the person that's donating, instead of it's 100, they can say, oh my gosh, I just bought, I think deodorants are needed.
Yes. Supplies.
Right?
Deodorants. So we do that a lot too.
Or whatnot. And then you're like, oh, instead of like, I wrote a check, maybe that person could feel a little bit more
definitely
involved.
No, it's a great idea, because I think I'll bring that up on Thursday to see if the teachers want to provide one, and we can maybe facilitate that by you know, by having it on our sites.
You see, this is not just a podcast to have fun. This is just a brainstorming session.
Totally.
I love that.
Look at the great things that are done when you get the right people at the kitchen table.
That's right.
Good conversations happen.
Well, you know, and that's what I love, right? Because a lot of these conversations and the fact that you guys earlier were saying, you know, it's unscripted. That's great, because at the kitchen table, we talk about whatever's happening that day, right? Or that time.
You have some collaboration. Or what are some challenges?
Right.
You
know, we usually don't speak of. I just had a conversation with someone who's like, hey man, that's interesting that, you know, you were struggling for so long at the beginning of your business. I'm like, yeah, doesn't everybody? He's like, well, everybody you ask, like, oh yeah, we're great. Everything is so great. But at the kitchen table, when you're having those conversations, you're like, you know, man, what are we going to do this month?
You
what are we
second guess, or you're like, did I make the right decision?
Right.
You start to have doubt.
Very much. So that's the...
You got to give it to God. That's what
That's it. And I got to let go, right?
And the conflict resolution as well.
Right.
I think that one of the biggest things that we have lost is the sense of, you know what, or a lot of people have this mentality where, you know what, if you don't agree with me, you're against me.
Right.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that is happening. And that's one of the biggest things that also our kids are going through today. Our kids today are going through things that neither of us had to go through.
Right. No.
Today, they're being pushed to pick a side. They cannot have a neutral saying on anything. They cannot have that. They are being pushed to, you know, make certain decisions. You know, in high school, you guys remember high school? High school, the only thing that I care about was what I was driving, my girl, how I looked. That was pretty much it. In college, right? Or if college, whatever it was. That's it. Today, our kids are facing certain things that, you know, in politics, religion, and just there's so many different things. So, and this is where, when it comes to my daughter, Natalia, is that, you know, when she comes to me for advice in certain situations in high school, I'm not really sure if I'll be able to tell her, hey, babe, you know, go ahead and deal with it this way, because I never had to experience that. You know, my job, obviously, as I always tell everybody, for number one, my job is not to make her happy. All right. My job is to give her the tools that she's going to need to be okay out there. That's my job. So, but when it comes to certain situations where it's like, I don't know, baby, how to deal with that. It's so scary right now that, you know, it's again, sometimes I think about it, and that's what I say, you know, man, you have 3 babies. I have 1. I you know, hats off to you, because I don't know how to do that.
I think it's a fine line. And I think that we can draw on how we grew up, and knowing that some of the resiliency we have is because we had to make, you know, we did have some hard times, and what different people we would be if we didn't go through those hard times.
No, definitely. And on that note too, you know, like, I think one of the things I've been trying to, you know, call to action kind of thing is exactly what you're saying. Like, when I was growing up, my mom wasn't around the school system, right? She wasn't volunteering. She had to work 2 jobs, you know, she had to do all that stuff. So she wasn't around. So she didn't have a say in anything that happened. So one thing I do try to tell people, I'm like, try to be involved. You don't have to be a president of the, this or that or nothing. You can just show up, just volunteer, be around your school, right? It's very easy to say, I think they should do this. I think they should do that. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And just coming around and helping, right? Because like one of my favorite sayings, I use that for everything. And I always say it, it's like, you can't have the benefit without the commitment, right? And I apply that to everything.
That's a good one.
I love it for everything,
Put it on a
right?
t-shirt.
Yeah. I apply it to everything. It's like, I can't have the benefit of my wife taking care of me if I don't have the commitment of taking care of her, right? I can't have the benefit of my business doing good if I don't have the commitment of working on my business. I can't have the benefit of my kids looking up to me if I don't commit to being there for them, right? So same thing with this, with the schools, we're all so busy. I get it. We're all so busy, but we can volunteer, we can be around, we can have a say. I think our impact is bigger than we think. I think a lot of people think, well, it's just, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, what are you going to let somebody else do then, right? Why aren't you there?
You have to be at the table.
Right.
Yeah.
You just have to
literally
show up.
No, absolutely.
And the thing is, you don't need a position. Like I said, you can just go, right? Because I've seen it. My wife, was able to be a parent teacher committee, a member. And I was like, how'd it go? I'd be at home with the kids. And she said, one person showed up. I'm like, there's like hundreds of kids in that school. And I get it, because like I said, people work and people do this, but it's like, if we can't get the parents to go and stand up, and say, hey, I think we should be doing this and should be doing that, and actively volunteering.
Yes,
that's a change.
And I think that has been a big theme, in probably every podcast in different ways, saying, if I ask, what do you think? Just be there. It doesn't mean you have to be the board president. It doesn't mean you have to commit to monthly meetings.
Right.
But find what you are capable of doing. And I think that yes, we have to have crucial conversations. We have to be able to have healthy conflict. Conflict.
Yep.
Yeah. That sounds it. No, it's true.
It's true. Like, I mean, I don't know if you can relate, but I remember sometimes, there's big family dinner and maybe aunt and uncle get in an argument, but then it's all good after. It's not like the devil, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, there's a couple of things that you have to have. You have to have diplomacy. I mean, there's got to be diplomacy, right? But also, you have to have, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that is those are the hard conversations, the ones that makes you uncomfortable. But you have to keep the head cool. It's just a cool head. And I think that there's still a lot of people who do not understand the concept of diplomacy as well. It's just, but like
or they can't handle other people disagreeing with them.
Exactly. And
I know that I've been called a lot. I mean, thank you that I have thick skin. Thank you, Jesus. But I think at the same time, if people see me or any other volunteer public figure being just criticized and acting like they're the devil, I could see where you're like, why would I want to volunteer?
Right.
Is that what you're going to get?
Right.
But then I just remind everyone that's just what the 1%ers. Our community is so great and well and good, and it's the same 5 or 10 people.
No, that's actually something that, I was just going to say, it's, I have heard it, and, I try to speak up because it's always them. Why not you, right? Why not you? Why not you showing up to all these things? Why not you making the time? Because it's a lot. It's a big commitment. It's a lot of, like, personally, what you do is a lot, right? So, Josh, again, you're everywhere, right? Yes. Everyone's like, oh, you guys are everywhere. You guys are everywhere.
Yes.
Like, it's not easy, right?
No.
It's a commitment. Like sometimes it's just like you brush it off. Like, it's like, I try.
No problem.
Yeah.
I just have to set alarms.
Yeah. 3 or 4 of them, right? And you get home, you're like, okay, or sometimes I had a conversation with my wife just recently. I said, I really don't want to go. I was like, I don't. I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. I don't want to go, but you know what? I have to go. So
I feel that. I feel that sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
it's not easy. I think people
and when I can walk on water, I'll expect other people to.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those.
Just have some grace.
Yeah, our social life is sort of kind of starts getting embedded into our professional life. I mean, in a way, it's and it's not a bad thing. I mean, because I have the opportunity to meet amazing people that became friends, So, but our social life is not really there before we jump into this boat. I can still remember being able to just go home and just lay back and kick back and call one of my friends, hey, what are you doing? Let's get together. And like, not anymore.
It's been a bit.
Yeah,
No.
it's been a while, you know. And
Yeah, where people said, "Have you watched that show?" No, like my head hits a pillow, like I'm out.
yes, yeah. It's like when that show, this Squid Game came out, or
I still haven't.
what is it, the Tiger King?
Yeah.
all those shows is like
I didn't watch that one.
And they keep asking me, you know, what you watch the show? And like, the heck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, well, I don't have the time to watch TV. I only have time to go to work, to do the nonprofit, to sit down and watch Bluey. You know, the episodes of Bluey with
Right?
Natalia,
And that's
then go to
7
bed.
minutes.
Yes. And then go to bed, and we do the mini episodes,
Yes.
and then go to bed.
Yeah.
It's just really there's not really that much time, but we love it. And that's something crazy about that is that if we didn't like it, if we didn't love it, we wouldn't be doing it really. So yeah.
Well, that, and I come back because people think it's easy for me because I'm everywhere, right? And I tell my wife, I'm like I said, I struggle with that all the time. They're like, but you do so good once you're out there. I was like, yeah, but it's like doesn't mean it's like easy. Like, you know, like it's just
like
like
going to the gym. Just
you
show
know,
up to the gym. Once
but
in
it's
the gym,
like again, it's like one of those I can't have the benefit without the commitment, right?
Oh,
I can't,
oh,
you
yeah,
know,
it
just
was.
goes all the way. Yeah.
The other night, I was supposed to go to Sean Paul with Elaine,
Oh.
and I had to. And I was so tired from this whole week. I said, "I'm giving you the tickets, take someone," but I am so tired.
exhausted.
You know, it's so funny. On my timeline, it was either Sean Paul or it was like a Mexican rodeo. So it was like both things. I'm like, I saw that on Saturday, I think it was. I was like, that's so crazy. Like this, you know, like it was either.
I have a wide variety of friends.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, oh, that looks fun. Not at 9:30. Yeah, like at night. You know, but it was fun.
That's the range that you have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
think about
that's
it.
fantastic.
I really felt like I love that for you kind of thing. Like I'm like, it's way too late.
Right?
Like, yeah, you know?
I'm like, that is so great. That's so wonderful, but I just can't do it.
Yeah. My wife just told me kids are starting school on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm like, what?
Right. Next
We have to
week.
start cutting back on going to sleep earlier.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like it's just one of those things.
It comes back. The routine comes back.
Yeah,
the routine.
She's
now
looking
is-
forward to it though. She's like, I can do with just a baby and not 3 kids
Right.
all day.
That's a lot.
But you know, actually, speaking of kids, and then not going back
Right.
to the foundation and stuff, but something I did want to share with you guys is something I haven't been doing a very good job of. But like our business, you know, it's Arrows Home American, you know, but I do serve another nonprofit, and that one's called the Willamette Valley Down Syndrome Association.
Oh,
So
cool. Tell
a
me
lot
about
of
that.
people don't know that my oldest daughter, my 9-year-old Aaliyah, she has Down syndrome. So it was super important for me to be active again because again, I can't have the benefit without the commitment, right? So we can't expect somebody else to have this stuff. So that's another board I sit on. Same thing. We have our webpage, you know, and we take donations there, but I wanted to share with you guys because it hasn't. I guess a lot of people don't know what my arrows stand for. So, do you guys happen to know what my arrows stand for?
I remember that you explained it one day.
Yeah.
But it was.
I'm very
something.
brief. I'm very brief because I'm like, it just means something to me, right? But I feel like, you know, so I don't know if you can see I'm on there, but the 3 arrows. So families with Down syndrome have unofficially almost officially adopted a symbol, and it's 3 arrows. As a symbol of Down syndrome. So they call it the lucky few. Right? We consider ourselves the lucky few. So some people will tattoo them. I'm still scared. I'm still working on my first tattoo. Maybe one day. I don't know.
We'll go and hold your hand.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah.
But,
It gets
you know,
easier. The more you get, it gets easier.
That's what I'm
trust
afraid
me.
of. You know, but you know they'll tattoo the 3 arrows, and usually they'll do so. Blue and yellow are the ribbon awareness colors for Down syndrome. So, you know, you have your pink, you have your blue, you have your... So if you see a bow or
Arrow.
A ribbon.
a ribbon, thank you. A ribbon that's half blue and half yellow, that's Down syndrome, right? So that's the awareness for Down syndrome. So the reason it's 3 arrows, it's because you have 23 pairings of chromosomes, right? 23 from your parents, 23 in me, right? 23 from your dad, 23 from your mom. When you get a 3rd copy on that 21st, that's how Down syndrome happens, you know? So it's the 3rd, so it's the 3, right? So it's the 3rd copy that symbolizes. And speaking, you know, about being on the kitchen table, you know, something that families talk about that don't talk about in public is a little bit of, you know, the fear, is my child going to be accepted, right? Am I going to be able to protect them? And am I going to be able to provide what they need, right? All these things that your typical kid, you know, maybe you still think about because you do, right? You still think, how can I protect my kid? I mean, I have 3, right? So it doesn't change. But The arrows it signifies almost like a lot of families at some point you can feel like you're being held back, right? So your kids are being held back. So like an arrow, the harder you pull back, we'd like to think the farther you go forward, right? So that's the three in the arrows. So it's super meaningful to me. I need to do a better job of
That's
explaining
beautiful.
it.
And thanks for sharing. And would you say Willamette Valley
Down Syndrome Association? Yep. And we're working on programs. So if there is anybody that has families, friends, please, you can contact me directly, because we want to create a bigger scene here in the Valley, more opportunities, more events, more
awareness,
education.
Kinda. So it's weird sometimes because and speaking about having tough conversations, right? I have had conversations with other people with kiddos with Down syndrome, and we think very differently. Some think that sometimes our kiddos should be in general classes with everybody else. I personally don't. I know my daughter needs that extra assistance, right? So so there's always those conversations, right? But there is sometimes a need to have tailored events, right? To kiddos, right? Because their needs are just different, right? Maybe the lighting, maybe the noise, maybe different things. So we do need different spaces. So we do 4 events a year. We want to increase that number because 4 events a year.
When's your next event?
It's Christmas, so we're gonna have a Christmas party.
Well, you let me know how I can help.
Perfect.
Like I am there for you.
Thank you.
Whatever
I appreciate that.
you need.
I appreciate that.
And it's also for like a fundraising event.
So that's the thing. We haven't done too many. We want to. All of our events are just for the families. Come over, have a good time. We just had a swimming pool party. So kids were able to just go swim. Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
That's awesome. What is interesting is that some people know, but my background is supportive employment. Since 1999, I've helped people with disabilities and other barriers to employment to find jobs in the community. And that's where my connection to vets is, because many of them have barriers, so I help them to find jobs. But many of the families that I help have people, have members of their families, with disabilities. And I fell in love with it. I mean, that's my community. I love my community with disabilities and everything. And it is true. Even within a community, you find so many different schools of thought when it comes to their kids.
Right.
But
it's you could compare it to making tamales. There's a ton of different versions of tamales.
And they're all great.
Yeah, they're all great. At the end, it's like,
right, they're all good.
Yeah,
they're all a little different.
Yeah, I mean, their goal is the same, right? It's just a different path.
Right.
One of the interesting things that I've always encountered with the families is that whenever I was assisting one of their family members and everything with their kids, everything was great, employer and everything, but the one that it will come into the whole almost like a little monkey wrench was the mom. Because the mama bear will come up. And I think this is one super important people that need to understand is that the biggest barrier is of somebody with a disability, whatever it is, or barrier, it's not the outside world. A lot of times is the people that loves them too much, because many of the family members, they lower their expectations. No, on the contrary. When you have somebody with a barrier or a disability, whatever it is, whatever you call it, you do not lower those expectations. You actually raise them even more above. Because if you lower those expectations, you cut their wings. Yeah. You limit their ability to find greatness. So no, you get those expectations up and you treat them the same way as everybody else. Like I had an employee one day when I was placing an individual in a job, and he asked me, well, what do I do if it doesn't do the job? I go, well, what do you do with another employee that they don't want to work? Send him home. Send his butt home. Trust me. And this is again me advocating for employment for people with disabilities. Is that the protection that exists for people with disabilities, like any other group of individuals, they protect them versus discrimination. They don't protect him from them not wanting to do the job. Okay,
right.
So you send his ass home. Don't worry about it. Okay, if they don't, so they just want to be given the same opportunities. That's basically what it is. So, when I found Fernando, his daughter and a beautiful daughter, that's him. So I in a way I felt a connection with him right away because I've assisted many families with kids, that had within the spectrum, whatever it was, but. They're some of the most kindest kids and
100%.
family. It's just amazing. But the mama bears that you are, listening out there, please let those kids go to work, let them experience things. And the dad's like, no. Pookie has to work. Go, take it to work. Then mom is like, no, but I'm the only one who knows how to. Anyway, I'm sure that your wife is not like that, but
we're the opposite, I think.
You're the more protective.
You're like, take it easy.
She's daddy's girl,
especially
for
because
sure.
she's a girl, and moms are always a little bit harder on the girls.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
But I figured it out.
Daddy.
I think I figured that out. I had a conversation with my wife about that. I said, babe, you are a woman, right? So you know her limits. You know she can do everything and anything. I don't see it like that. I don't see, not that you're lesser, right? I just see my little girl that I need to protect. Why is it backwards? Because of my boy, she's like, oh, come here.
And
I'm
you're like,
why?
oh no, you're stop babying him. Stop babying him. He's fine.
And that's because, being a man, I know what he can do. And so
Right.
it's just the opposite, right? We complement each other, and that's that. But it's
a fact. My kids are 30 and 26. Much harder on my daughter than my son.
Yeah, and I'm harder on my boy. She's like, why are you harder on him? It's like, I know what he can do. I'm still learning what my daughter can do. Now with two girls, because my baby's a girl as well. It's like, here comes another daddy's girl,
right?
Because
there's not a book for it.
No.
Well, it's funny because I always tell friends of mine that don't have any daughters. It's like, look, man, you can consider yourself the alpha male out there in the world. You can think that you're this badass guy out there. You can think that you're on top of the food chain,
lion,
the lion, whatever you want. But when that little girl tells you you're a princess today, you're a princess today.
That lion is going to get his mane braided.
Yes.
It's just,
Give me your nails. I'm painting your nails.
Yes. You wear the tutu. You get on your knees. You drink tea with your pinky up.
Luckily my daughter hasn't asked for any of that yet.
Okay. Well, lucky you. I've had. I'm telling you, there's pictures to prove it too. That's the scary part. This little girl has made me do things that not even my wife has ever done. I mean, she can take a dump on my pillow with me on it, and we're still gonna have the best relationship in the world.
At the kitchen table.
Heck yeah! I mean, it's that's how it is. It's just you turn into this. I'm telling you, is that true? It doesn't matter what that little snot.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It doesn't
You might have crossed the line there.
Oh, trust me, it doesn't matter what she does.
We were talking about we can disagree and still be friends, right?
Crucial conversations. We just think parenting's a little bit different here.
Just a little bit.
But you know what? With her, I push her. I push her because, like I said, I mean, I need to give her the tools for her to be okay. So my job is to teach her how to be, self-sufficient. Her self-esteem to be based. Unfortunately, our little girls nowadays, they grow up with their self-esteem based on how they look. That's like the worst thing. What I need her to do is to grow up with the self-value based on her skills, her heart, her kindness. That's what I need. So that's what's important for all parents, to throw everything at them. Any type of activity, anything, something will click, because we go back to talk about identity. They're looking for an identity. You give them the identity and they start looking for other things.
And the purpose.
Purpose. And then they find a purpose. But I know what I have too. I mean, because I even talked to the teachers before in school. I talked to the teachers, each one of them in preschool and in kindergarten and now first grade. I say, look, I know what I have. So if you call me one day saying, hey, you know what, Natalia punch a kid or choke a kid or something, I'm going to believe you. I'm not going to be the type of parent that will say, my kid will never do that. Oh, no, trust me. She has the tools and she's done it before. So I totally believe you. You should see the sign of relief of this teacher. Like, oh, thank you. Because a lot of parents, they come and say, no, my kid will never. Oh, no, yeah, your little's not did that. Yeah. So I know what I have. But yeah, to me, always raising the expectations with kids. Do not lower the expectations, no matter what the barrier, what it is. It doesn't matter. It's always left that expectation.
I believe that. I think that we can be detrimental when we because we're not teaching how to problem solve.
Absolutely.
Because we're problem solving for them. So you're not using that muscle.
Yeah. And accountability.
One, it's I recently just heard, it's like saying, you shoot for the moon or you shoot for the stars and you land on the clouds or whatever. Yeah, you shoot. So what happens when you're shooting to the ceiling? You're gonna end up here. Like that's like it's just
There's no growth.
Yeah, and that's actually a conversation I had literally the day, because we found out she had Down syndrome the day she was born. Like we had the ultrasound, and there was a murmur on the heart, because that's the biggest thing. Sometimes they most kids will need heart surgery weeks or days after they're born, and then again and again, right? So we were blessed that our daughter didn't need all that. But I told my family, right, I was like, hey, just so you guys know, she will do whatever she wants to do, right? If I ever hear you guys settle, if she says,
like, don't feel sorry for me.
Yeah, don't set those limits, right? Because it's like I can look at hey, okay, you do 5 pull-ups. Oh, you can't? Well, why? Why are you why would you limit somebody else, right? Like, it's just, you wouldn't limit yourself, you wouldn't limit anybody else. Just let her be. If she can't do it, she can't do it. She's gonna try. She's going to try to do anything that she wants. She's going to try, We've tried sports.
Just like we do.
Absolutely.
That's exactly
just like you do.
That's
and
exactly.
I do.
So
we try something, we're like, that's not for me, tennis. Nah.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it was with soccer, like.
There goes my elbow.
We found out that she's not a sports girl, She just doesn't enjoy it. So we're not going to keep pushing her when she doesn't enjoy it. But she tried it, she tried everything. She loves being at home, she loves reading and puzzles and stuff like that. So, all right, that's what it is.
Absolutely. Throw everything at them and something will click. Something will click.
Sticks.
Yeah, absolutely.
My daughter was not a sportsy. I mean, she ended up doing like theater and that kind of stuff. But
there you go.
No.
Yeah, something that I tell the kids, when they come and take the class and everything. And I always tell them, I go, look, college is good. Try to go to college, get a degree out, do something, whatever something. And then later on, and then go and be an actor or an actress, whatever you want, go and screw up. Because if that doesn't work out, then you have something to fall back on. And then once you get up there again, then you go and screw up again if you want to.
Right.
You go ahead and try to
get the skills. That's why I love CTech.
Absolutely.
Get the skills.
I love CTech.
I just love it. Think of the jobs that you can get and have zero.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have all those loans.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. And when you were talking about shop earlier, I got it my freshman year and then it was gone. And I was so upset, so I always had that little, just nagging, like, oh man, I wish I would have done a little, eventually I ended up doing a trade, right? I did. I mean, I did all kinds of work. I did office work. I did banking. I did all kinds of stuff, but nothing filled me, right? I didn't find myself until, I found this, but having those opportunities to just do those things is so cool. But CTech, I'm very jealous every time I go in there.
And I'm so everything. I'm jealous. Like, why didn't I have it? At the same time, I'm like so happy for our community and kids, and just so like we are an amazing community.
Moving forward,
forward. And also their mentality when it comes to creating partnerships. I mean, I think that's one of the beautiful about them is that it's not a school district,
right? So they have different wiggle room.
A school district is just a very harsh shell to break, right? To crack. But CTech, they're like, wait a second, they listen and they do take feedback also as well, but also they're really willing to partner up with other entities like we did with us in everything. So CTech, I think, is a model that a lot of cities and school districts should follow. At least in a small, not as big as, my God. Yeah, every time we go there, I drool over their equipment.
Right.
So, and that is a beautiful thing because kids, anybody, but especially kids, the more tools they learn how to use, the more creativity comes. Because creativity, it's a muscle. You need to exercise it. But getting to know how to use tools, it opens the doors to so many other things.
Right.
So what they have as equipment is amazing.
They do. They're just doing so many great things. That cosmetology program, and now that they have the mental health program, and I toured the avionics program with James Hutchins. That's a great. So just so many things, so many good things. There's so many good things. Sometimes I think we can forget about what's going well, and there are so many things that are going well.
Yeah.
So speaking of fundraisers, you have a fundraiser coming up. Do you want to tell speakers and listeners?
Yeah, so for the longest time, I've been wanted to do an event, so it's called Forgefest Northwest, and it's gonna be on September 20th at Acres of Hope Youth Ranch. For those unfamiliar with Acres of Hope is an amazing organization where they provide therapy services to kids who have gone through very bad stuff, and they use horses for therapy. If you haven't had the chance to visit them, you should. They have a beautiful, beautiful ranch, and it's just, they're amazing. They're amazing. And when I came to Justin, one of the executive directors, Justin and Emma, right? Emma is his wife. It's just Emma. I came to Justin and said, hey, Justin, I have an idea for an event. And he's like, oh, okay. Do you need the barn? I was like, wait, let me tell you about the event.
What do you need?
Yeah. He said, oh, okay. Yeah. But do you need the barn? I go, yeah, wait, hold on a minute. I go, look, I'm exercising my skills. I'm getting better, trying to get better, and ask for help, and you're not helping. So can you please play hard to get? And you know how he is, right? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. You need the barn, right? I was like, do it. Yes,
He's great.
Right?
So yes, so he
Let me give my pitch.
I know, it's like, well, it's interesting because I've supported Acres of Hope for many years, and he's always looking for ways to try to help me, but he hasn't. So finally, I think he felt like, okay, finally, I can help this guy. So anyway, so Forgefest Northwest. So basically, it's a fundraising event for IACT because we're going to start the mentorship program, especially with CTEC now. They're going to send kids and everything. So we need to buy equipment and stuff like that. And also we do need to get a grant writer because now we're going to try to go after grants. So basically what's going to happen is from 10 to 12 is going to be a couple of things going on. One is Forging Academy, as we call it. So we're going to have 4 or 5 stations with anvils and forges. And each station is going to be hosted by a friend of mine who's also, they were on Forge and Fire as well in the show. So they're coming down to help me out to host each one of those stations. People will come and be able to forge a little souvenir. So kids, adults, and then we're going to have a mechanical bull. Sorry, are you ready for the mechanical bull?
Sure, why not?
Let me tell you, I have a list of people that I would love to see in the mechanical bull. Anyway, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
And then,
you can count me in for a couple auction baskets for sure.
Okay.
Not committing to the bull.
Come on, it's for a good cause. And then we might have, I still figured it out, but the axe throwing. So I'm going to be talking to Oregon Axe. And then from 12 to 1:30, lunch. So Mike Adams, Mike is coming with his truck. And then also Max Sablit, Oddmost Pizza is going to be there.
So family event.
It's a family. Yeah, it's a family event.
And will you do like a raffle, some auction baskets?
We're going to have a silent auction during lunchtime. And then sponsorship, opportunities and all that good stuff. And then at 2:00, the main event starts. So it's going to be Fortune Fire style competitions. The first one is going to be vets.
Oh, I love it.
The second one is going to be CTEC. CTEC is going to have...
That's super cool.
It's going to be department versus department. I'm meeting with them next week
to
sort of finalize that.
That's great.
And the main event is going to be Salem and Kaiser Police Department, Fire Department, Polk County Sheriff, and Marion County Sheriff. They're going to compete against each other in a Fortune Fire. So, and they all sort of kind of already confirm that they're going to participate.
Did Copeland, Kaiser Police Department? Well, we dropped the ball.
Copeland said yes.
Is he doing it?
As far as I know, yes.
Just throwing it out there.
Yes.
Are we putting pressure right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Nick.
Kaiser Chief Copeland.
Nick.
Don't let us down.
Yeah. I know, right? Sheriff Hunter. Nick,
He's going
he said that he's going to sweep the floor with everybody.
Ooh.
So I'm using that. Maybe he didn't say it that way.
Chief or both?
Yeah. So I'm poking everybody with that.
Okay.
So it's they're always, those departments are always looking for ways to compete against each other.
Right.
So
I know you get Chief Russell too out here.
I sent him a message. So I'm Chief Russell. I'm telling you. I already sent emails.
Okay, you let me know. You let me know if I need to be like, I heard you were scared.
Unless he thinks he can't win.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Right.
I wanted.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if you know your limits, Chief Russell.
I mean, you can make a statement saying why not.
Every other department will be out there.
Yeah. So it's going to be great. We have not had an event like this in the area. I wanted to have a photo booth as well. So I'm going to bring like Viking costumes so people can put costumes on and take pictures.
Fitzpatrick Painting, they have a mobile.
I'm calling them today And hopefully they have availability.
Yes,
so I'm
so
calling
they
them
have it.
today after the podcast. So again, September 20 is going to be great. Our mayor Kathy Clark and Julie Hoy, our mayor for Salem, they're going to be part of the judges for the
love it.
competition.
Love it.
Also, Commissioner Bethel, she
Yeah.
said that she's running for governor. So I totally understand it, but she said that she might. Commissioner Bethel. I know you can do it. I know you're able to do it. Come on.
Be
Tim
there.
Davis. Yeah, Tim Davis is going to be also part of the judges.
Love it.
So I'm bringing all this important and very important members of the community that have really have helped us really strengthen our community, and show that even though Salem is small, but we're mighty when it comes to community engagement and really supporting each other.
I think we're the best. I really do. There's so many amazing humans that continually lift other people up and are so humble. Like you two, you don't know. You just think, oh, I see Fernando all the time. He has the arrows hat, or he's walking around with knives. But there's so many different.
I actually do.
But so many different layers to the people in our community. And I just encourage everyone, take a moment to get to know your neighbor, literally. And don't make assumptions because you think something.
Yes,
Get to know the people.
100%.
Reach out to them.
Absolutely.
I 100% agree that anybody that reaches out to you or anybody that's been on my podcast, they'll have a cup of coffee with you,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think we all of us, in a way, we are in the business of helping ease pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's because at the end of the day, all we want is just to live in peace, right? And I think that we all have an interest on helping people who are going through pain.
Yes,
to
be a part of be proactive and not reactive.
Absolutely. So, and like I said, I think also being humble and stuff like that. Knowing that you don't know everything. That's, I think,
right. Or it's great and it's beautiful and it motivates me, and I just am so excited that people are getting to know through this podcast the people in the community, the things that you didn't probably know.
No, absolutely.
No, yeah, it's been great, and encouraging too. To touch the point you guys were talking about a little earlier, I just read, it said somewhere, I'm not a writer. I'm barely a reader. I need
try.
Pictures. I try. Yeah. But they said as a writer, just write the first sentence, even if it's a bad one, right? Because it's easier to correct that bad sentence than it is to just start with nothing, right? So same thing with this, with applying. Just if you have an idea, just try it. If you have a question about something, ask. It's just.
But people are good. We have so many good people.
And we, like Josh said, we might not have the answer, but since we are out a lot, we might know somebody that can help you. We might be that link. Yeah. So please, if you guys ever see me out, I'd be happy to. And it happens. I don't know a lot of stuff. Absolutely. I know you probably think I know everything, Josh, but I don't. You
do. You just don't know.
Yet.
But most likely I do know someone that can get to you.
We'll
right?
find the answer for
something
you
that, because I do one thing, maybe something, do you do this? I was like, I don't, but I know this great person that does. I know this, or this organization that does, or this or that. So use us as, or, at least personally, you can use me as a tool to get to where you need to be, or get the help, or get whatever ball rolling you want.
There is amazing resources out here, and people are doing great things. That event sounds amazing.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
so fun and great, and I think it's going to be a hoot when you see Copeland, Groboth, and Hunter. That was a good podcast.
Yeah, there you go. That would be a great one right there.
That
would be amazing to have all the chiefs right there going at it.
I had them on a podcast. I think it's like episode 2 or 3.
So
what additional help do you need for that, or what are you working on to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have tiers of a sponsorship. We have sponsors like A&L Roofing. They have different sponsors.
Is that on your website?
Yeah, we're going to put it up on the website, and also I'm going to be dispersing the letters and sending the letters to several people and everything. Michelle, she even before I asked, she just jumped in. It's like, hey, what about this? I can help with this, and She's such an amazing
really
person. It's like, oh my God. I mean, I cannot believe that so much love can fit in that little body of hers. I mean, I cannot believe that she's not bursting, you know. Open.
She is. If she was a cartoon, she'd have like little hearts and
I
rainbows,
know,
like,
right?
popping
She's
out.
amazing. She's just amazing. So, but yeah, so there's tiers, you know, with baskets as well. It's going to be a free event, by the way. Somebody asked me, are you going to charge? No, I want everybody to be able to have access, you know, to this and everything. And a lot of people are very big fans of the show. So by having all my friends that they were in Fortune Fire is going to also, you know, bring a lot of people. But yeah, and the website will have the tiers, you know, of sponsorship. If you are interested in sponsoring a team, let's just say that somebody wants to sponsor, you know, Copeland team and everything, let me know. And we'll have them have a little banner, or we'll show, you know, who they're, you know, who's a sponsor by them, you know. So
I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm in Kaiser. We're based out of Kaiser. So if Copeland decides to do it, you know, Arrows Home Air would love to do that.
All right.
Yep.
All right, Copeland.
No pressure.
You better be in. No pressure. I wanted to all the chiefs to, you know, join, right? Some of them, unfortunately, not going to be available because they already have prior.
Oh, they have lieutenants.
But they have lieutenants. Yes, that's what happened with Salem PD. So at the beginning, Salem PD sent me a message saying, I'm sorry, Josh, we have nobody available. I was like, you have nobody available. 1 unit. I only asked for 1 unit. I'm not even asking for the chief anymore at this point. Just somebody, you know? And then all of a sudden, like, no, we can't. Okay, fine. I said, but I only need 1. So I sent another email, and then I got an email back. You know what? Your persistence, you know, works. So the chief lieutenant, oh my goodness, the second in command.
Yes. I know who you're talking about. Is it Upke?
Upke, yes. He said. He said. So I was like, yes, thank you.
He's great.
Yeah, so I sent an email, said thank you. So far, everybody said, but I want all the chiefs, but I understand. Next year, though, I'm giving them all a heads up. Next year is going to be a 2-day event because I'm going to try to bring one of the judges from the show and also a celebrity from Naked and Afraid. I have a friend of mine that went to that show in the Discovery Channel, and it's going to be a 2-day event.
I love that. Did you already set those dates?
Not yet for next year, not yet. But after this, we need to do this right.
Yeah,
because it's the first time. And that's why I didn't want to go over.
Well, it sounds like you are doing it right.
Trying. I work on this event under the radar for a long time. That's why nobody really knew about it. You know, but I was getting all those. And then once I got the venue, Justin, I said, good. Then, Stephanie and Steve Bob are our coordinators. When Stephanie, I talked to Stephanie, and then I talked to Steve. Steve fell in love with the idea. And Stephanie's like, you know, we can help you. I was like, thank God. There's a God. Because, you know, the venue is...
And he likes Forged and Fire.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, my God. Knives. Oh, my God. I was like, thank God. Because, you know, venue is like 50% of the battle. At least we got that. Thank God, right? And then Stephanie being the coordinator, I was like, that's it. This is happening.
Right. And she's so good because she does the CTEC fundraiser at the
she's a professional, coordinator. So, because I knew that if I would try to coordinate something like that, I will screw it up so good. I mean, and once I got those 2 elements, this is happening. Everything is easier, you know, really. So, yeah. So thank God Stephanie's going to help us. She has the connections and she moves fast and everything. So, yes. And so next year, Stephanie, next year is going to be a 2-day event, by the way. I don't know if I told you that.
We just put pressure on everyone. Yeah. Oh, next time you're on. Well, Stephanie said no. Just kidding. Shout out to you, Stephanie. We love you. And she has a new restaurant.
Yes, Ollie's. Oh, okay. Silverton. Go hang out.
Go visit it.
Yeah.
Shout out.
They're doing amazing. I love them to death. It's just such an amazing
I haven't gone there, but I know that that's happening. So it's on my list of where to go.
So yes, so that's what's happening. Again, we're gonna start with the right foot on this one. That's why I didn't want to go crazy with the things happening, because you guys been in events where they run out of time because they have so much stuff going and people feel rushed. No. I want it to be laid back and everything. So free admission. Come and say hi, join, the whole thing, and hopefully you have a really good experience. We have buttons. I'll buy you a couple buttons for first. Becca.
Becca's the best. So Becca, I actually shout out to Becca. She Oregon Women's Conference that Sarah and Luz Reyna, they have it at the Civic Center. So Hotel Salem is a sponsor. So I had Becca Makes Buttons do just cute
Yes.
pink ones, and on the back is the mirrors. Remember those when we were younger?
Yeah, I remember those. And she's a beast in a good way. Oh my God.
A beautiful beast.
A beautiful beast. I mean, she's so good. I mean, I send her I talked to her about it. I sent her the proof one day. I swear to God, she had them ready by the next day.
She's the best.
I was like, she's like, oh, they're ready. We're open from 6 to 9. Oh my God. I just sent you the proof yesterday. You know, I was like, yeah. So I went the next day. She had them ready. It's just, I mean, she's amazing. Just boom, boom, boom.
She really is amazing.
Yeah. And again, I don't know what else we're going to have.
Becca, you are amazing. And we appreciate you.
Yes. So yeah, everybody, again, if you have any questions, the website is, we have a Facebook page, but our IACT website is www.iactoregon.com. And we'll have some information.
IACT.
IACT. Yes. Oregon. I'm sorry.
Make sure.
I'm so bad at spelling.
Got it.
I'm so bad in spelling.
I got it. Okay. So what would you, if a kiddo, since we've been talking about C-Tech a lot, came up to you and said, okay, I got my first job, Josh and Fernando, how do I get noticed?
In my opinion, is be on time. Be on time. I am the kind of person that I'm actually inculcating to her, my daughter, to be always on time. That fixes a lot of issues. You know, if something's on the road happens, or whatever it is, and also shows commitments. Mm-hmm. Employers see that, and I've been in employment business so much, for so many years, and even if you're not really good at what you do, really, you get better. You will get better. But the whole feeling or the whole commitment into being on time, that makes a big difference in employers and managers and everybody. Because at least I joke about it. I say, look, I might suck at what I do, but I'm always on time to do a bad job.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, even if I suck at what I do, but I'm always on time to do it. No, but really, that is my best advice that I give all the kids, everybody. Be on time. Mm-hmm. That shows respect to the employer, to your fellow coworkers and everything. And that allows you to be the first one to be picked to do certain things or to learn new things. Mm-hmm. And after that, of course, there's other things. But to me, it's always on time.
I would add being reliable, right? Somebody you can count on. Again, you don't have to be the absolute best. You don't have to do it, but especially when you're starting off and you don't know, right? What you can do is be available, be reliable. Just like in sports, right? Your best ability is what is it called? I don't remember how that goes, but it's just be available, right? Be reliable. Be somebody I can talk to, or be somebody you can be, just be reliable in that sense. And it was reliable, and communication, I think, is one of the biggest things, right? If you don't feel comfortable, especially starting off when you have maybe tasks that you haven't done before, feel confident, to have that communication. Hey, I haven't done this bore.
Or can you show me again?
Exactly.
Advocate for yourself.
Exactly. Hey,
in a healthy way.
I haven't done it. Yeah, I haven't done it, but if you can show me, I'd definitely like to do it. Or, I did this 3 months ago. Can you show me one more time? Or what is it that you want me to get done, right? Or what is it? Just that communication, because, I personally grew up with hey, go set that up. It's like, what? Figure it out. Figure it out, right? Just figure it out.
We're the figure it out era.
Yes, and that's so just having that.
There was no YouTube.
No, we weren't YouTube certified, nothing like that, But yeah, just be reliable and have good communication. Just whatever it is that's going on, communicating is so important. And this instance of calls, don't text. Especially stuff like that on certain things.
Yes, I love that. Someone said on one of my podcasts, they said, Elaine, it was Elaine. She said, I tell my kids, use complete sentences on the phone, please.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to people, instead of saying, yeah, yes, do.
Yes. So
complete sentences. And I thought, that's a good one, because we can get, especially we can get so stuck in that texting that you're like, yeah, okay, hear ya.
No, yeah, and our kids are growing with that.
Yes.
It's like that social interaction they feel so uncomfortable now, like being face to face. Like when I meet kids and everything, and that they've been on the phone the whole day. You're like, how you doing? You give them a handshake. Like, oh, come here. Like, Are you serious? You know, and it's because,
Come on, let's do it together.
Yes, so that awkwardness that they have now when it comes to face-to-face interaction, it's just weird. It's just, it's really, like I said, it's something that you and I we didn't have. We got out, we shake hands, how you doing, face-to-face and stuff.
Right.
These
And
kids nowadays, like, good Lord.
I think that I get so much joy, like being around kids and with that and saying, hey, this is great, but maybe have a little bit more contact when you do the mock interviews. You have, you know, speak up a little bit louder. I couldn't hear you. So it is so great to be able to give back. I get so much more than, I get so much from giving into the community. Like it is definitely, and I know the same for you too. It's my love language.
No, it's an impact. Like I said, it's an impact that we can make on our kids, right? Our kids are going to grow up here, you know? So
we want them to stay here.
Exactly. We want to make sure we better and we leave our little piece, you know? I love walking or driving around all these parks and, you know, seeing the names of the people before us and stuff like that, right? And what an impact, what a positive impact they have made on these things. Yeah, you know.
Oh, she's okay. Say hi.
Yeah.
Say hi. This is Natalia. She's been here. Super sweet. Say hello. Wave.
Which one?
Wave at whatever camera you want. You want to wave right there? Wave. This is Natalia. She's
My
amazing.
dad said 1 hour. It's been too long. Yeah.
Thank you, Princess.
Thank you for being here. I need some of those headphones. I need to talk to Valor Mentoring. I need kitty cat headphones.
Yes. He loves those things.
Unicorn headphones.
You know what is interesting when you mention is like we want them to stay here. It's really funny because, you know, she's gonna find her own happiness, right? Because again, my job is not to make her happy. She's gonna find her own happiness. Right. The only stipulation that I have,
she has to stay near you, 30-mile radius.
Please stay within an arm reach almost. You know, and today a lot of kids, and that's fine. You know, they go out to other states and everything, but I think it has a lot to do also with the cultural thing. You know, it's like we stick here, right? I mean, our culture is like that. It's this family nucleus is such an important thing. It's like my grandma. She's turning 90 next year. Wow. And she's the glue. We just had her 89th birthday. Jesus Christ. I know. And she was in the show. Like they in the show, they show her.
I love
on
that.
both times.
Oh, I love
and
it.
She's amazing. She's really funny. So yes, that's the only stipulation I'm going to have for her. You know, you can do whatever you want, babe. Whatever. I don't care. Just stay.
You can do whatever you want to my pillow.
Yes. You can do it. That's gonna hunt me forever.
It is. It is.
But it's true.
It's true.
It sounds like my wife. You know, when we're deciding to get married, she's like, "Yeah, you know, we can live anywhere. We can live in Kaiser, or we can live in Kaiser." I'm like, "All right, I think Kaiser." But you know, honestly, it's been the best decision I've made. I absolutely love it here. I love the people around. I love the places. You know, and like I said, if we can make one positive impact, like that's good enough, right? Because there's a bunch of us here, so we can all make one little thing. Like this is going to be a great place to continue to live, you know. So
yeah, and there's still a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
a lot more.
Well, I definitely am going to have you both back. This was fun. Yeah. You know, I'm looking at the clock, and we're just. I'm telling you, we could talk for hours. Yeah. I know it. Yeah, that's why I have to have a timer. Yeah. Thank you both for your friendship, the amazing things that you do, and just being great role models to the people that see you, because it takes a village.
Likewise.
Let's end on your quote. What was it?
You can't have the benefit without the commitment.
Hear that? Words to live by.
That's right.
Over and out.
Put it on a pillow.
Big shout out and a big thank you to Valor Mentoring that recorded the video and audio for this podcast, Changing Lives That Change Lives. And thank you to Remodeling by Classic Homes for sponsoring this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us at the kitchen table with Soraida and friends. Please follow us on social media. You can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcasts.